All right, Shalom. Giving all praises first and foremost to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to your hopeful elect. And this is just going to be real quick hit, straight to the point. Was just meditating. You know, um, me, as I always say, just being drowned in my meditation, drowned in my thoughts. You know, because as the title goes, when it comes to us being perfected. Now I'm gonna just say this offhand because we are never going to be perfect on this side in the flesh. All right, but nevertheless, through the Spirit, we are being perfected. All right, because it's not by our works. Because you got a lot of these Israelite camps. They wholeheartedly push the law, the law. Right. Well, obviously, these guys, they don't understand the program of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. They don't understand this program. You see, because believe it or not, the Heavenly Father set it up intentionally, purposefully, so that we will not be able to keep the law perfectly. You see, I'm gonna say that again. The Heavenly Father, it intentionally, purposefully set the law up so that we would not be able to keep it perfectly. And quite frankly, that's why we have to lean on Yahweh Shai. All right. That's just the design of how the Lord set this up. We would have to lean on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and those the mercies of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You see, and that's why we're going to need a new covenant. All right, because again, the old covenant, which was set up, like I said, purposefully, intentionally, the Lord set it up to where we will not be able to keep that law or keep the first covenant. All right, because you got a lot of Jakes, and this is the premises of this video, because, and this applies to today and applied back then. All right, a lot of Jake, they were keeping the law, right? But their intent, their thoughts, all right, their mind toward the law, their mind towards serving Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai was off. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. All right. I'm just start off with this real quick. Like I said, I don't intend on this to be long-winded or anything. It's going to be basic to the point, Lord willing. I'm going to get this in Hebrews chapter 10, because, and this is another thing where a lot of Israelites, they talk down primarily, our brothers from Great Millstone. Jake be talking shit. We're a faith-based camp, which that's really a compliment more than an insult, if anything, because that's what this thing ultimately it boils down to. It boils down to faith. You see, so that's why I'm gonna read this real quick in Hebrews chapter 10. Hebrews 10 and 38. It says, "Now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him." So that's the point. All right. The just living by faith. What is faith? The belief in something that you don't see. And we touched, some of the stuff we touched on this past Saturday, like everyone, every single day, every single individual, every single day, they display faith, whether they know it or not. It's just a matter of what or who do you have faith in. Because I always use the example, waiting at a bus stop, right? For people that have to take the bus, they're waiting at the bus stop, right? They don't know that it's coming, but they believe it's coming. That's faith. That's belief. That's faith. I always use this example. All right, I always use the example, man. Waiting at a bus stop. You don't see the bus coming, but you know it's coming. That's it. That's an example of faith, having faith, displaying faith. And that's just one of many examples on a carnal level and whatnot. Like I said, everyone displays faith whether they know it or not. Hell, children. You have children, right? And I touched on this. So I did a video on this some months ago, like the characteristics of beauty in children. And then just more and more, to me personally, it makes sense why having children of my own, why the Lord said, hey, we have to come back as children. All right, because one of the many characteristics of children is their faith, right? Whether we know it or not, hey, we were always asking our parents, grandparents, hey, what are we going to eat? It was never a question of, are we going to eat? Are you going to be able to provide the are you going to be able to provide? Are you going to be able to sustain us another day? No, that was because children, they don't worry about none of that stuff. They don't worry about none of that. They just want to know, hey, when we going to eat? What we going to eat? All right. They just know. And that's how we have to be. We just have to know. And that's what we're being taught. All right. We're just being taught to just, Yahweh Shema Shai, he is, and hey, we just got to let him work. Hey, the Lord said, whatever is asked for in his name, it shall surely be given. The Lord also said, hey, to those that are, and it ties back into this lesson, as far as, what brothers got to deal with, just casting your burdens, your cares, your concerns on Yahweh Shai. And if you're sincere, if we are doing what we're supposed to do, then the Lord's going to take care of it. The Lord's going to take care of it. You see? Because like I said, it is easier said than done. Hey, Jake, Jake is going through it. Jake got things to worry about. But fret not, because, hey, the Lord has got our back. All right, and that's why, a part of why, it's just certain situations that we go through, and it's just like, man, it's getting tighter and tighter, and it's just getting tougher and tougher way. More and more, the Lord is turning up the heat. He's cranking the heat up. And we're just, like I said, we're just being taught more and more to just lean on Yahweh Shai. All right? To just display more and more faith, because, hey, we're coming into a time where our faith is going to be put to the ultimate test. Ultimately, man. Now that happens here and there, and at this point, it's almost getting to a point where it's almost on a day-to-day basis where, hey, our faith is getting tested. All right, but our faith is going to be put to the ultimate test come that hour of temptation. But with all this that brothers deal with, man, the Lord he's shown us now that, hey, I'm with you. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Like I said, fret not. As the Lord said, fret not. Don't worry about it, man. We're learning more and more. All right, because again, at the end of the day, that's what it's going to come down to. That's what it's all going to boil down to is faith, our faith in Yahweh Shema Shai. Do you believe that I can deliver you out of this situation? And Slocky, this thing is sliding off. There it is. Slocky, bear with me. Adjustments in real time. Slocky. All right, so Hebrews 10:38 again. Now the just shall live by faith. So again, that's the point. All right, because that's what this all boils down to. Because what did Yahushua tell his disciples? Listen, let me get it. I haven't brought it out in a minute. It's in the book of St. John. St. John chapter 16, verse 7. Nevertheless, I tell you the truth, it is expedient. Matter of fact, just through spirit, let's see what that word says. Symphero. Let's just see what it says. That word for expedient. That word for expedient. I'm just trying to get the point. Just trying to get straight to the meat. So yeah, as I figured through the spirit, and you can run through this on your own. I'm just trying to keep this as sweet and simple as much as possible. But this word for expedient, the Greek word being sympherio, some of the in the Strong's definition, it says be better, to be better for, to be good, to of a profit. All right, because it's profitable. Yeah. So because listen again, that's what at the end of the day, the Heavenly Father, He requires our faith. All right, that's what it all boils down to at the end of the day. It boils down to faith, trusting in what we don't see, believing in what we don't see, right? Because it will be easy to believe if Yahushua, if we could physically, if Yahushua was here right now as a man, because He's here with us in spirit. But if He was here with us as a man right now, it will be easy to believe. You see, how much more when He's not here? That's why the scripture talk about blessed are your eyes for roughly paraphrasing, for those that do see. How much more for those that don't see? Right? I'm gonna read it again. St. John 16:7. Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is expedient for you that I go away. So it's more profitable. All right, because the fact that Yahushua is not here with us physically, it just takes all the more as far as us just character building traits. It just, it's just more. It just takes more for us to just believe. It just takes more for us to just trust and believe, because again, that's what this whole thing boils down to at the end of the day, right? Reading on, it says, for if I go not away, the comforter will not come unto you, but if I depart, I will send him unto you. So you see, man, that was the point, man. Because again, it's easy if Yahushua was physically here with us right now in the flesh. It would be easy to believe. Hell, everyone would have faith. Everyone would trust, and everyone would flock to this thing of ours. But how much more Yahushua not being here? It takes a lot. It takes a lot, not only to say you believe, but to maintain. To maintain in this thing, man. It takes a lot. That's why the spirit, man, the spirit of the comforter, the spirit of truth, the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, Lord, one world, that number is with us. It has to be, because without it, we are a lost cause. But you see, again, because just the fact that this truth, it doesn't come with any tangible rewards. All right, and it reminds me of going back to when Jake, and this is why the Lord told us, listen, do not mimic, don't envy these other nations, right? Because they want something physical that they can touch, that they can see and bow down to. And that's exactly what Jake did. They asked for a physical king, and what did the Lord give them? He gave them Saul, King Saul. And it turned out, that's if you know the history, then but Jake wanted a physical king, one that they can see, one that they can touch, right? Like the nations. That's how the nations are. That's the characteristics of a heathen, a natural heathen. You see? But this thing, it all boils down to who's gonna serve me and worship me without seeing me, without having me physically there. That's what this whole thing boils down to. Faith. All right, it all boils down to faith. So with that being said, hey, with this, and this is why a lot of Jake, man, and it happens to us. It happens to us. We're in the flesh. It gets the best of us sometimes. It's just like, damn, because this truth, it gets disenchanting. It gets disencouraging. Like, man, why? We all get those thoughts every now and then. It's like, why am I doing this? Why am I, we questioning. But, because like I just said, this thing, man, this isn't, it's not a tangible, there's no tangible reward. There's no physical reward or, at the moment, like right now. That's what Jake wants. They want to be rewarded right now. And a part of this thing of ours, hey, we got to wait. We got to wait. And this is going to be far outside of our expectations, right? Jake is walking around like, man, if the Lord don't come tomorrow, then I'm finna, man, the Lord, he doesn't operate on our time. We operate on his time. So we got to wait. We have to wait, man. You see? And in the meantime, hey, this is what the Lord's looking for. Who's going to, like I was saying, who's going to serve me and worship me in sincerity and in truth? All right? Who's going to put forth their best foot? Who's going to give me a sincere effort? That's what the Lord is looking for. Because like I was saying in the beginning, the Lord, he knows we're not going to keep the law perfectly. He set it up that way on purpose. All right? It's a matter of, because like I said, Jake, they keep the laws, but their mind is not there. Their spirit is off. Their intent is off. And it's about, matter of fact, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Two quick ones. Because going back to tie it all together, this is what makes us perfect in the spirit. Matter of fact, before I get that, I'm going to get this. Since I'm here in St. John. Because the Lord knows, he knows we're not going to be perfect. All right. He knows we're not going to be perfect. St. John chapter 16. I'm going to read verse 33. Because Yahushua, he was the only one to perfect it in the flesh. Yahushua was the only one to ever do it in the flesh, perfect it in the flesh. All right. And again, we're not going to do it perfectly in the flesh, but hey, in the process, we're learning to our spirit is being perfected, right? St. John 16:33. These things have I spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. Because again, Yahushua, he laid the blueprint. Yeah, he did it in the flesh, and we're not going to be perfect in the flesh, but our spirit is being perfected. All right. And that's through the blueprint that Yahushua left. Because again, Jake is walking around here thinking that they're keeping the law, right? Just because they don't eat pork, they're walking around here wearing t-shirt fringes, which that doesn't even go back to the law. Wearing t-shirts, that doesn't go back to our law. But Jake is walking around here thinking they're special and whatnot. You see. And again, it's not based off of our works. Now, we do what we can do to the best of our ability. All right. But knowing and understanding that, hey, Yahushua, because listen, we fall short every day. And there's plenty of scriptures that talk about how it's not based off of our works, man. It's not our own righteousness. Our righteousness, no matter how righteous we think we are, listen, our righteousness is as filthy rags. A woman's menstrual, man. All right. We are filthy, man. We're through. You see, we're through, man. We're filthy. But that's the beautiful thing about, and that's one of the things, one of the few things that I took off of this Day of Atonement that we just, partook in. Like, man, the Lord's tender mercies. All right, the Lord and His tender mercies, man. Listen. None of us deserve to be here, man. We all deserve to die the death. The hell with 2/3. We all deserve to die the death of Esau. We all deserve that what do you call it? The 8 mile or the green mile. Because Esau, after 1,000 years, he's going to get that walk, being executed. We all deserve that. But the Lord's tender mercies, man, none of us deserve to be here. But it's through Yahushua's sacrifice. That's why we have a fighting chance to begin with, through Yahushua's sacrifice. So while this grace is bestowed upon us, because again, it's not based off of our works or what we do or anything like that, man. While we have this grace period, what are you going to do? How are you going to serve me? How are you going to show your loyalty to me? That's what the Heavenly Father is looking for. How are you going to prove to me and show me that you're with me, man? That's what the Lord is looking for. And it's about a sincere heart, serving the Lord in sincerity and in truth. You see? Because a lot of precepts come to mind, like Yahushai, going back to Yahushai. Like today, what's today, Wednesday? You just had this this hurricane, right? Sweep through the land out here in Florida. Now we don't have it. We didn't get it as bad as certain Akim, on hopefully like Akim and Akwath spread throughout the state. Out there in Tampa. And there's brothers out there in Tampa. You could just look up GMS or Great Millstone Tampa, right? They got it bad, as well as other places. But with that being said, hey, today was the Shabbat, all right, and not only that, hey, the Feast of Tabernacles, But hey, I had to work, I had to hustle, I had to hustle, man, on the Shabbat. Now you have a lot of these other kids there. Oh, well, you breaking the Sabbath, you can't, just being over righteous. But what did Yahushua say? Hey, listen, is it unlawful to do good on the Sabbath? You see, is it unlawful to do good on the Sabbath? If your mother calls you up and listen, I caught a flat tire, can you help me out? You might be her only son or her only capable son, and she calls you up on the Shabbat. Hey son, I caught a flat tire, can you help me out? And are you gonna curse her out? And Jake is over righteous. Are you gonna curse her out? And no, man, like I just quoted with Yahushua, listen, is it unlawful to do good on the Sabbath? If you have to take care of business on the Sabbath, do what you got to do. It's as long as you're on the back of your mind, you acknowledging and observing, yeah, this is a Sabbath, this is supposed to be a day rest. But again, it goes back to how, listen, this is why we rely on Yahushua and those mercies, man, his tender mercies. All right. Yahweh Shema Shai, listen, we need him. We need Yahushua, because we're not going to be perfect. But hey, that thought, that intent, like, yeah, I know it's a Shabbat, but you still got to do what you got to do, because we're in captivity, man. Just remember that we're in captivity. We're still in captivity, so we got to do what we got to do. But just remember, and that's how the Lord set it up. Like I said earlier, hey, it's like that on purpose. The Lord set it up that way on purpose, so that we could depend on him. Because trying to keep the law, and we mentioned this past Saturday at the camp, like, man, if that was still a requirement as far as the old covenant and the law, like a lot of these Israelite camps push, man, Jack would be really stressed out, bugging out, man. Again, like today, I got children. All right, I had to cook. We're not supposed to cook on the Sabbath, but I had to cook. What are you gonna let? What are you gonna let? You gonna let the children starve? And something as simple as making a sandwich, that could be going off. Because when I say I cook, I'm not saying I have to cook a whole 5-star meal. No, I had to, there's still things that we have to, that's why we are rehearsing the righteous acts. You see? And again, it's about, let's go to this, man. I got two quick ones. I got one in the second, what was that? Second Chronicles. Second Chronicles chapter 16. Because this is what the Lord is looking for. All right. Who's going to serve me with a willing heart and sincerity and the truth? Yeah, they're not going to keep the laws perfect, but who's gonna try? That's what the Lord is asking for. Who's going to try? Right? And to those that fall short, hey, don't, Yahweh's blood has got them covered. That's what this is all about. Yahweh's blood's got them covered because we're not going to be perfect. Second Chronicles 16. Second Chronicles 16 and verse 9. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth. Talking about the angels, because they constantly give report. All right. To show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. So that's the point. I'm going to read that again. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. So you see, who's serving the Lord with and that's why the elect, at the end of the day, they're going to be presented as virgins, spotless, blameless. The elect, because only the elect are going to serve you Yahweh in sincerity and in truth. All right, because it all goes back to a mindset. Yeah, I got to work on the Sabbath and, certain things. And, listen, if you deal with a woman, if she's not a virgin, hey, technically, we've all committed adultery. If you've dealt with a woman and she's not a virgin, we've all committed adultery. Okay, but if you deal with her, then you deal with her. It's just one of, listen, this is just one of many examples, one of many things. It's about, like I said here, that line, who's going to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. So you see, it's about serving Yahweh with a perfect heart. All right, the mindset. Because again, we're not going to be perfect in the flesh, but spiritually, that's what this is about. Being perfected in the spirit. Now, that's why I read that song, St. John 16. Because Yahweh, he was perfect in the flesh. And we're not going to be perfect in the flesh. That's why, we need those new bodies. That's why we're going to have to be translated. All right. The new covenant, the real new covenant. Unlike what these guys are talking about right now, man. We're talking about we're in a new covenant. You see, but it all starts with a mindset. Hell, the kingdom of heaven itself it starts with a mindset. It all goes back to having a certain mindset. You see, it says, herein thou hast done foolishly, therefore from henceforth thou shalt have war. So you get another one. That's I think that's 1 Samuel. So again, at the end of the day, the Lord is looking for who's going to serve me with a sincere heart. All right, that perfect heart, like I just read, a sincere heart, man. Who's going to put forth their best foot? Who's going to give a sincere effort? That's what the Lord is looking for. And those are going to be the ones that, hey, they're going to be found without guile. Those are going to be the ones that, the Lord's going to forget all their transgressions. He's going to forget all their iniquities, right? Bear with me as I look for this. I just read Second Chronicles 16 and 9. There's another one. It's either Samuel. First Chronicle, actually. First Chronicles chapter 28 and verse 9. And thou, Solomon, my son, know thou the God of thy father, and serve him with a perfect heart and with a willing mind. For the Lord searcheth all hearts, and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee. But if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever. So there was a lot said in that precept. There was a lot said in this verse, 1 Chronicles 28, verse 9, man. Because it all goes back to, again, yeah, they're not going to be able to keep the law perfect. You know, they're never going to be, because, you know, you have a lot of jake, and this is why the scriptures talk about, man, listen, not walling in our being not down in our spirit, oh, I'm not good enough. And listen, none of us are good enough. So what? What are you going to do about it? Truth be told, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. I'll say it again. You're not good enough. When none of us are good enough. But are you going to make that an excuse to just, I might as well just continue to just, or are you going to put forth the sincere effort? You're going to try. That's what the Lord is looking for. Who's going to serve the Lord in sincerity and in truth? Who's going to put forth that sincere effort, man? Serve the Lord with a perfect heart. All right? Because with that, again, that's how we get perfected through the Spirit. That's how we're perfected spiritually, man. Because we're not going to be perfect in the flesh, like I said, but spiritually, hey, you know, we are going to be perfected, man. And that's what this is all about at the end of the day, man. All right? This is why, listen, glorying Yahweh Shema Shai in your trials, your tribulations, all right? Because more and more the Lord, listen, he's just, you know, developing with the trials and tribulations that we go through. The Lord, he's just refining us. He's just more and more we develop certain qualities, integrity, patience, and, you know, everything that's just pleasing unto the Lord. This is why we have to go through our trials and tribulations. And it just seems like we can't catch a break. Well, again, glory ye in the fact that, hey, the Lord is dealing with you, man, because again, the fact that the Lord is dealing with you, hey, he's refining you into he's refining you into his image, into the man that he wants you to be, or the woman that he wants you to be, you know? So count it all joy when you fall into these diverse temptations, all right? Because, hey, the Lord, he's making a man out of us. He's making a woman out of you, man. You know? And hey, quite frankly, we're coming back into where the Lord is developing us in being his sons again. You know, his daughters again, man. Because, hey, Revelation, what is that? Revelation 20, what is that? Revelation 20, it's in Revelation 21. All right, Revelation 21, man. Hey, the Heavenly Father, there's going to come a point in time where he's going to be able to behold, he's going to be able to embrace his sons and his daughters again, man. That's why this is necessary. Yeah, it hurts now. It's supposed to hurt, but it's necessary. It's necessary, man. Because, you know, at the end of this, again, the Lord, hey, he's going to be able to embrace us again, man, as sons and daughters. We're talking about the King of the universe, the Most High. Through Yahweh sacrifice, is this even possible? You see? And hey, I'm going to get this in Revelation 14 since I'm here. Revelation 14. Because again, it's all about being perfected via the Spirit. Now, being perfected in the flesh, that's going to come once we're transfigured. All right? But as of right now, hey, we're being perfected in the Spirit. You see? So appreciate the process. Trust the process. The Lord knows what he's doing. He has our best interest at heart. So Revelation 14, verse 4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. Talking about the different philosophies. Hell, at the end of the day, the elect are not going to give in to, they're not going to bow down to the image of the beast. They're not going to take the MOTB. All right. You know, they're going to be presented without spot, blameless. Like reading on, it says, these are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. Because again, Yahushua, he laid that blueprint. He showed us how to do it, how to get it done. Again, though we're not going to be perfect in the flesh, keep saying it, but we are being perfected in the spirit. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb, and in their mouth was found no guile, for they were without fault before the throne of God. So you see, they were found without fault. They were presented as virgins, all right, pure, clean, and because hey, you know, that mindset, all right. Like I said, it all starts with a mindset. The elect, they didn't give in, all right, and they held on and maintained their faith. Again, it all goes back to faith, trusting Yahweh Shema Shai to the very end, to the bitter end. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. That's what this all boils down to, man. So Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. Until the next one, Abba Ratazah.